St. Francis de Sales, scholar, writer, diplomat, a kind and gentle person who sought to understand the human heart, a man who asked to do everything, be it big or small, with enthusiasm and to do it well. The Oblates of St. Francis de Sales, men who carry on the traditions and characteristics of their saint. Founded in 1876, the Oblates bring to the world St. Francis' spirit, his gentleness, his love of God, and his Christian humanism. But who is the man behind the collar? Why has he been called to this service? Is he someone you know? A friend or a brother? Maybe you already know him. Maybe he's closer than you think.
Well, I'm really a philosopher at heart, and so all of his stuff about what it means to be human for me is really interesting. He has wonderful stories about humanity and wonderful ideas about how to be fully human as an individual person. He was one of the first to argue that freedom of religion is an essential component of being a person. The ability to use your mind well to figure things out and come up with your positions and then debate them and argue them is pure Francis de Sales humanism.
One of the characteristics, of course, is a great gentleness in behavior toward each other. Something that he was very fundamental to his spirituality and very fundamental in human relationships. Because, as I learned later on, that idea of being gentle and respectful to others is really based on the belief, the biblical belief, that we are all made in the image and likeness of God. And with Francis de Sales has repeated that and built his whole spirituality on that biblical truth. And then he was fond of saying that if we are all made in the image and likeness of God, then we are all made in the image and likeness of one another. So you can see what a powerful motivation that could be in your relationships with others, because they reflect, in a way, how we relate to God in a very concrete fashion. So I would say that is certainly one of the hallmarks of the Oblates.
About my sophomore year of high school, the idea first came into my head. I had a really good priest during high school, be our chaplain. He was just fantastic and a great example of a priest. Who really cared for people and really acted with that Christian love that we need to see in our leaders. So ever since then, I mean, God's just been tugging at my heart, and it's just been a beautiful adventure. But definitely of late on the Sales campus, it's been much more, fervent and increasing the pull to religious life. And I'm sure it's for a variety of reasons, but of late, it's been much more, fervent and powerful.
But I didn't see myself running a parish or being in parish work full time. But when I met the Oblates, here were priests whose main work was teaching, and I kind of liked the idea of being a teacher and a priest at the same time. So I think that's one thing that definitely appealed to me about the Oblates.
I got to see the Oblates when they were letting their hair down, maybe at their parties or at their dinners or whatever it was, and I really got to see that they enjoyed living together and praying together, and that really spoke to me. So after I graduated high school, I went on to college, and I thought that question of a possibility of a religious vocation stayed with me. So it was after college that I thought I'd give it a shot, and I did, and I'm really glad that I did.
Becoming De Sales University, I think, was a major step, and you could just see it growing all the time. I mean, I can't wait till we get the Salesian Center built and fully functional, and so many people are really captivated, I think, by the spirituality. I mean, when I see young people come and they hear words about communication, and you have to have meaning in your life, and you have to have purposes, and you have to think about stuff, and you got to have your own mind, and you can argue and debate and do all this kind of stuff within religion. Religion's a friend, religion's a good source of ideas. They get really excited about it, and so I think, just the fact that you can do that as part of the Oblate tradition and the Oblate story and see an institution grow and develop, and I think it's just a very exciting time to be here at DeSales University.
For recreation, I get out on the golf course as often as I can, year-round. Try to get out about a couple of times a week, and I prefer to walk rather than to take a cart. So I took it up when I was 70. I thought I was old enough then at that time to play golf. That's about 11 years ago.
I certainly like to kick back and have a beer or a glass of wine with my friends, talk about our day, some of the things that we're excited about, maybe things that have us down in the dumps. But being with my friends is always something that really rejuvenates me and gives me a great charge.
I'm developing an addiction to crossword puzzles.
I think the biggest challenge for me as a person of God and just a person is girls. You know, that's a huge thing for me, honestly. Like all throughout high school and for a lot of my time here, I've been in relationships with girls, and so I'm thinking about religious life. It doesn't mean I don't like girls, right? So it's that kind of thing, you know. So one of my big time challenges has been chastity with girls, as well as just respecting them, even in relationships. I mean, like even more so, just not dating to date or just not dating for comfort. You know, actually dating, respecting the girl and respecting that, you know, if this doesn't have hopes to continue longer, then maybe I shouldn't be doing it. You know, it's like the kind of playing with hearts kind of thing that can be dangerous sometimes. And that's hard for me, you know, because I do feel lonely at times, and that definitely, I think, pushes me to want to have relationships just so I can get the attention and all that kind of stuff. And so it's no reflection on the girls, it's just my own, you know, needs and selfishness and whatnot.